Welcome to the Content Amplified podcast, brought to you by Masset. Our goal is to help you get more from your marketing content. Each episode is a 10 to 15 minute interview with industry experts that share amazing insights to help you squeeze as much juice from your content as you possibly can. Here's today's interview.
Welcome back to the Content Amplified podcast. Excited to have you on the show. Today we have an awesome guest by the name of Valentino. And Valentino has a fascinating subject for us to talk about today. But before we get into it, I will let him introduce himself and give a little bit of a background.
Well, thank you so much, Ben, for having me, first of all. And like we were just talking about, for having an independent business owner that doesn't have a huge business and that is just trying to grow somehow. And that way is through content. But yeah, my name is Valentino. I was born in Uruguay, so Spanish is my first language. Forgive me if I get messed up a little bit. I've been in the US for about 10 years, and I now have a video production company. And I don't know if we can call it video production anymore, maybe content production, since we've been shifting so much. But yeah, we love to help businesses. I love to help businesses and see them actually grow, genuinely grow their audience. And yeah, we've been focusing on that, and then a little bit of event coverage as well. We like everything related to music. That's one of my passions. So yeah, we do that as well.
I love it. Perfect. Well, thanks for being here. So in talking before the show, you brought up this fascinating point, and I'm excited to dive into it. So really the subject for today's podcast is kind of not being afraid of sharing your secret sauce through your marketing content. Like sometimes we hold to the chest so closely all of our trade secrets that we're not willing to share them because we're afraid that someone's going to rip them off or someone's going to steal them or who knows what. But Valentino has some really good points today about why you shouldn't be afraid of kind of giving away those tips and secrets. So Valentino, why do you think that it's okay to share that content, and why should businesses do that, and why shouldn't they be afraid?
Well, there's one thing that's very clear to me, very, very clear. One is, if you don't put it out there, it's not yours. You start claiming it when you put it out there, and people start knowing you when you put it out there. So this all kind of came together from me working with one of my clients, trying to figure out like a new strategy to grow their business through their personal brand. And he was so afraid to share his knowledge. And I was like, the only way that you're going to be able to grow and shift away from that conventional outreach that you're doing right now that is not getting many results is if you start doing something new. If you share your knowledge and you let everyone know what you know. So yeah, that was pretty much it. That's pretty much my reason on why everyone should be focusing on sharing their knowledge today. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. And I think it makes a lot of good sense. I mean, content's a crowded market. And if you're not sharing what you know, it's really tough. I also think there's a big perspective. When you share what you know it from experience. And it rings true and it comes out and it's just different. It's higher quality. But if you're just regurgitating what's already been said, the likelihood of people actually building a relationship with you through your content is way harder. And so I think that there's a lot of value there in just saying, hey, let it out, like share your experience. And that's what people will connect with. So why should people do this? Like what value could they get out of it, Valentino?
Oh, sorry about that.
You're good.
Let me see if they get it out of control. Should I just keep going?
Yeah. So this is, we do it kind of live and it's good to go. So if you're on the show, this is not like an engine going off. This is a legit fire smoke alarm going off somewhere.
Yeah, seriously. No worries. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, the other thing is, when you share your knowledge, and one of the other thing is just go all in. Like when you don't, if you have a business, it's because you know something, right? And so by putting it all out there, just don't go to the secondary stuff. Just go through your best stuff. What can I put out there that's going to make my customer's life better, or what's going to add value to them? And that's kind of shifting to my second point, which is get obsessed with improving your customer's life. And that is, by posting content on social media, or that is by giving them a tip or whatever it is. A good strategy I use when I'm trying to figure out what content should I create or should I post or not is when I look at it and I put myself in the customer's shoes, I ask myself, would I save this? not like or not share, would I save this to watch it later? And if the answer is yes, then that's a good indicator that that piece of content would really work.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think sometimes when we're running businesses and content is just a part of the strategy to attract new users to what you really do, we focus so much on like product market fit and the ability to say, hey, our product resonates with the audience, they want to buy it and share it. Well, I think that as marketers, we should really do a better job of saying, if this was all that I sold, if I were just a content creator and I was asking people to pay for this content, is it good enough that people would pay for it? If that was my only product, and if it's not quite up to that standard, maybe rethink it, maybe go back. Like you said, if I'm not saving it or saying, ooh, I want to read this, like I'm not diving into it enough, maybe rethink that. So I think that's great. Like being obsessed and treating your content like your product
Yeah,
and,
and
and as much as your product.
just to kind of add to that too, I mean, don't be afraid also that you're gonna run out of content. If you're doing it the right way and you're doing this short format, which is so popular right now, people will start asking questions as well. Like you will come up with more content to post. So yeah, don't be afraid to put your best stuff out there right away.
Oh, I agree. And I think that's a really good point because a lot of times it's like, okay, I got 5 good points, but in a month I'm going to be done. There's always more ways to talk and always more ways to have conversations. People talk about things in all sorts of different ways with one another in normal conversations. The same thing can happen in your content. I love it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, you treat your channels as a communication channel. It's an interaction. If it's only one way, you're definitely not doing something right. It has to be a both way street, two-way street. So yeah, and then shifting to my third point. When you do that, don't worry about money right away. Because I by sharing your knowledge, it can get a little scary of saying, "Hey, oh, someone can steal this and they can steal my strategy." But if you add that value, people will come to you for your service. And it's like we were talking before. A lot of people do it. They just put out all their stuff in a short format, and then people come to you because of convenience. People are likely to see thousands of reels before they can see your second one, and so they're not gonna just go in your account and put everything together, try to figure out like how to do their strategy. They'll most likely come to you for your service too. So just add value and don't worry, money will definitely come.
Exactly. And I've seen the content creators that I love, they often, just the other day, like I love content creators because they're just really, really talented and have so much to share. The other day, someone wrote these really fascinating articles, and I just dove in and I loved it. And sure enough, they had like this course for 99 bucks, and 100% I was like, I'm all in. I'll go for it.
Exactly.
I'll do that. And it was purely because I saw the unique value and I knew I wanted to buy in because like they clearly had the experience. If they had just told me generic stuff, I would have figured their, price content would just be the same. But they
Yeah.
shared real value, real stories, real experiences, and I paid them money for their content.
And
And that's a difference. That's something big.
definitely. At the end of the day, if you see that he's genuinely trying to help you and genuinely trying to add value to you, you know that there's going to be some more in that course. So you bought it. And that's what same
Yep.
thing that happens when you're trying to sell a service or another product. So yeah, that's my whole point. Don't be afraid to share your knowledge. Get obsessed with adding value to your customer, and don't worry because money will definitely come.
I love it. You summed it up perfectly. So now everyone here, share your secret sauce and definitely tag us when you share your secret sauce because I want to know it. We won't steal it. We're just going to appreciate your content. That's
We'll
what it's
share
all
it.
about. Yeah, and we'll share it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Valentino, thank you so much for being on this episode. How can people find you and read about your secret sauce and read about your content and connect with you and further the conversation? Or if they need help with anything on content production, how can they find and connect with you?
Yeah, so the best way to reach me is by email. I'm always checking that, and that's Valentino at theonestudios.com. The one is a number, it's not the word, so it's theonestudios.com. And I'm as Valentino Gracioso, Grasiuso on Instagram and LinkedIn.
Perfect. And we'll link to everything in the show notes. thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll have you back on the podcast sometime for some more insights.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for listening to the Content Amplified podcast. Please subscribe and leave us a review. And for additional ways to get more out of your content, visit our website at getmasset.com. That's getmasset.com. And tune in next time to the Content Amplified podcast.